we go to Ashley Shamedy.
Hey guys, I talked to Lakers assistant coach Scott Brooks, and he said, look, the 14 turnovers and we're only down by 9. The message in the locker room, we haven't had a bad 48-minute turnover game yet. It's just been 24 minutes. So let's not turn it into that one. Said we're also looking to get LeBron closer to the basket. And as for the 3 ball, he said if we can just take care of the ball more, those 3s will start to go in.
Well, LeBron with just 8 points in that first half as Thompson goes right to the rack and finishes.
Curl. Great hesitation at the rim.
Here is James working on Tari Eason, who got into that foul trouble in the first half with 3 of them. Now it's James, and he did get right to the rim, but he couldn't finish it. Shepherd in transition. He'll pull. He'll cash one down. Houston starting to shoot it much better from 3 as well, an area that they have struggled so far in this series. Shooting at 28.7% coming in as Kennard misfires. Houston 6 of 16 from the outside. Shepherd has 3 of his 4 threes that have gone down. Now he'll cross, stop. Smart stays in front. Shepherd doesn't care, but he can't hit. 47% from the floor, but just 1 for 7 from 3-point range. It was Hachimura who made the lone 3. Kennard into traffic, nearly turned it over, and it is going to be a timeout.
It's converge. This defense of the Rockets is playing at a high level.
Shepherd was the guy who really stepped up when KD didn't play in just those 4 games, but especially in that back-to-back. That was tough. Shot off the mark for this Lakers offense. Now it's Thompson again at the controls. Knock away. Smart saved it through the legs of Şengün. Scooped up by Kennard. Race to the rim, and Kennard beats him all the way there, crashing into the fence. Luke Kennard with a hustle to put one through. For Kennard, who during this series is averaging 21.3 points per game through the first 3. Shepherd bounce. Şengün drive. Behind the back, Thompson. Outside, Shepherd will load it up. On target from 3.
And you saw the first half, a lot of isolation back down as you see a turnover on the inbounds play from the Rockets.
Lakers continuing to get sloppy, but the Rockets give it right back. Smart with a swipe. Had it blocked by Şengün. The Turkish eraser. Shepherd fell. Ball still loose. Kennard picks it up. James extra. Hachimura with a finish. Chaotic sequence here in Houston. Back to 13, just over 3 minutes into the third. Eason. And he's fouled on the way up.
Yeah, a lot went on there in that sequence. First of all, great block. Our last offensive possession, Eason up against Kennard and drove immediately, initiating the contact.
At the free throw line, the 5 misses all from Alperen Şengün. Eason now 4 for 4. He's up to 8 points. The starting unit has come out as Houston tries to salvage their season back up by 15. Smart looking to dance on Smith. It's 8. It's off the mark.
Easy in the half-court offense in this third quarter for the Lakers.
Thompson, the banker goes. Timeout, J.J. Redick. Houston keeping their pedal to the metal. 17. One player in double figures. That's Eaton, who's got 15 points and 9 rebounds. The Rockets have 3 with Shepherd, Thompson, and Şengün all 10 plus.
They got to get LeBron going.
This could be the start. And he gets right to work, couldn't finish. Tip in goes. Aiton's got a double-double.
Well, a lot of attention on that, but Aiton continues to play well, anticipating the miss.
Eason put it on the deck against Kennard. 8 to shoot. Eason puts the head down, and Eason gets all the way.
And that's twice. They are trying to pick on Luke Kennard. Eason getting the mismatch. No hesitation.
Smart just 1 for 5 from the floor here tonight after he has been sensational shooting the basketball in games 1 through 3. James inside. Aiton continues to eat.
He is eating right there down low, but knowing that Shepherd down there with Aiton is a mismatch.
He's got 19 points and 10 rebounds so far here tonight. During the season, as the Lakers get the stop, they were 19-1 when he scored at least 17. James tried to thread the needle. Hachimura couldn't save it in time, out of bounds. Or 7 of 17 from 3. Thompson hesitates, spins. Hachimura stayed with him. Eason on the outside. This three is good.
And that's what happens for a guy like Eason. You see the ball go through the basket on some drives. Now the confidence flowing, knocking down that corner three.
Nearly midway through the third, they're going to keep trying to find Eaton, but instead this time it's a turnover. Şengün spin in transition, and he'll put it through, plus the foul. Houston clicking on all cylinders, leads by 20. 17 Laker turnovers. We're not even midway through the third.
And we talk about Houston and their problems not having a point guard, and obviously that was on display in game 3, but the Lakers, the two best players and leading scorers, but also the two guys who have the ball in their hands the most, in Austin Reeves and of course Luka Doncic. Got to improve upon this in this series. The Lakers, almost another turnover.
Hachimura does end up with it, bouncing off of bodies for 2.
I'm not sure, huh?
Back to 19. It's a 20-10 start in this third quarter in favor of Houston. Thompson stop. Shepard on the outside. Hook it for Şengün. He'll attack. And he's fouled by Ayton. It'll be number 3 on Ayton. 13 foul on the spot for the Lakers. Maxi Kleber on the roster doesn't get a ton of playing time as Şengün can't strike continue right now for the two-time All-Star. And he finally gets one to go. Up some of their large leads as Shepard steps in. Can't hit the 3. Rebound poked around. Put back, no. Okogie didn't have the angle.
We were talking about the season is Okogie.
And a foul's going to be called on a loose ball. Okogie forcing the turnover and then garners the contact.
And that was just great defense, picking up LeBron, Minnesota, and managed to lose. So it's important that they just continue to play as if the game was 0-0.
Şengün missed it, then a loose ball foul going the other way, this time against Houston. So if you just missed it a moment ago, DeAndre Ayton, his first career, whoever else they decide to put in that center spot, Ayton with a double-double tonight.
They're going to have to find some offense. Only 10 points this quarter.
James off the screen. Hachimura comes to flash. Hachimura the step away for 2.
He has been the only light here in this third quarter.
About 50% from the floor. The Lakers are actually 50% themselves. Shepard. And he doesn't get the roll. Rebound taken in by Okogie. Second chance for Shepard. Kennard steps up. 9 to shoot for Okogie. He'll load it up. In and out.
A lot of Houston, they got to continue to go and attack the basket.
Approaching 4 minutes to play in the third. Get it to James. Double comes. Over the top. Laravia. His 3. In and out. The Lakers have gotten 1 from 9 from three-point range tonight. And a foul away from the ball. That's going to be number 4 on Jackson Hayes. So Şengün back to the charity strike. The NBA playoff home.
And how about the Magic, how they flipped the switch and how they're playing in this.
Stays in a 19-point game. James, Hayes, kick it. Kennard doesn't get the roll.
Nice set. Get the ball to Kennard. Just couldn't convert.
Şengün back down. Hayes with 4 fouls. Şengün going right at him. Outside, Smith. Short. Rebound. Going the other way. Night beginning to unravel a little bit in this third quarter. J.J. Redick's been so pleased with their poise as Shepard got the hand in the cookie jar. Eason does the rest. Timeout, J.J. Redick.
Another Celtics-Lakers finals. What a duo, the Twin Towers.
Ronnie James rattles home the triple. Game 4. Shepard on the other end. Skip it for Smith. 3-ball. Book it.
Looked like the Lakers were in the zone. Shooters really for the Rockets. Shepard and Jamari Smith. Smith makes him pay.
8 to shoot now for James. Gets it right back from Hayes. He'll load up another one. This time too strong. Weak side rebound falls to East for Houston. James steps up on Shepard. Screen from Şengün. Shepard on Hayes. Couple of crosses. Şengün inside with a size advantage on Smart. Decent drive. And an offensive foul. Smart steps in to take the charge. That's number 4 on Tariq. They turned it over 19 times, and they've gone just 2 of 12 from 3, with that second one coming to go from Bronny James. Kennard drive. Get it outside for James. 8 to shoot. Kennard pump. Into the paint. Floated out too strong. Back tap. Smart tried to dive for it, but he couldn't get there in time.
And one thing,
90 seconds of this third quarter that has been dominated by the Rockets. Shepard on Hayes. Cross. Pull. Shepard off. And a foul's going to stay here. James was battling with Finney Smith underneath. For the Rockets here tonight. Finney Smith will get one more. And he makes it. Smart just 1 for 5 from the floor. James goes to set the screen. Pocket pass. LeBron to the rim. And he missed it with the left. Poked around. Bronny goes up to get it. Second chance for the Lakers.
in that action where he's setting the screen, now he's rolling to the rim. So hard to defend.
Thompson downhill, and he's fouled. Just relentless attack right now by this Houston offense.
But because they are
31-15 advantage on NBC and Peacock. And all 5 starters in double figures for the Rockets. 2-for-1 opportunity for the Lakers, and Smart takes advantage plus the foul. Smart got hit, at least he's saying, below the belt.
Just playing inspired basketball, and they just got to continue for 12 minutes here in this fourth.
Keeps the momentum on their side going into a potential Game 5 back in LA as James misfires. He's still stuck at 8, and he has now missed his last 7 from the floor.
You know, I'm glad you said that. You know, you want to keep playing.
Oh, what a catch. Goodness. Amen Thompson. Roger saying amen. The banker goes for Smart. But this guy is as physical a freak, Thompson.
Well, I mean, I didn't think he was going to be able to catch up. I thought the pass was way too high. But then that second jump, oh, man.
A minute gone in this fourth quarter. Thompson is now up to 21 points. Jabari Smith working on Kennard. Size advantage, got the bump. He'll get 2 free throws. Take another look at this. This is
human pogo stick.
Yeah, I don't. We'd have to ask what vegetable.
One-on-one matches there.
Well, they've talked about it. They would get heated, and when Asar would win, Amen is known to be incredibly competitive, and so Asar would say, "Okay, cool," and would try to let him win, and Amen goes, "I know you're trying to let me win."
Great careers in front of both of them in the postseason, contributing for their clubs.
Asar on that #1 seed in the Eastern Conference in Detroit, finalist for Defensive Player of the Year, won by Wembanyama, as Vanderbilt goes right to the rack. But you mentioned it earlier with Amen's ability, anticipation, and even playmaking ability on the offensive end.
They don't need to be like three-point shooters. That mid-range game, people are going to give them space.
Nice find. Holiday catches it.
When you talk about that point guard ability you just mentioned, getting into the paint. And Thompson just knows how to put up a stat sheet.
Vanderbilt high off the window.
Back-to-back possessions for the Lakers. Vanderbilt getting to the rim and exchange baskets here. If you're the Lakers, you're going to have to put together some stops. There's some resistance on this end.
J.J. Redick said that he was reminded with that crazy comeback. He was never quite over. He always believes that his team can find a way. And it's not going to help if they keep turning it over. Another deflection and steal. Holiday, the trailer is Smith. And they'll slow it down. Şengün attack on Hayes. Şengün keeps the footing. Hayes has the rejection. And he kept it alive for James. Vanderbilt on the fly. James picked up by Holiday. Double comes. Extra from Smart is kicked by.
I think you go back to that screen and roll action with Vanderbilt.
James off the gamble from Finney Smith. And he's got his first bucket since the early portion of the first quarter to
Keep competing. He's going to have to get some stops. Easier said than done. Fourth with LeBron.
It has been a second half that has essentially been all Houston. Smart lob, Vanderbilt slam. Vanderbilt providing power and Alfred Şengün. Now Houston trying to keep this momentum on their side through the rest of this fourth quarter into game 5. As Holiday finds another 3-ball.
And I've been impressed with the offensive second half, running their sets, the sets creating offensive opportunities as Holiday knocks down that corner 3.
Vanderbilt. That was a hold on the basket. It didn't matter. Vanderbilt finishes through the contact of Şengün. And now Vanderbilt is
in the paint. Now he has scored in the paint here in this fourth quarter.
And he'll get subbed by Maxi Kleber after the free throw. And Bronny James all on the court. And Kleber set to check in next dead ball. J.J. Redick said that it usually takes him quite a while to really wave that white flag and get the bench unit in. Much earlier than what you're accustomed to seeing, but understanding that his team, including LeBron James, played major minutes in game 3 to grind out that overtime victory. LeBron played 45 minutes as Bronny comes away with a loose ball. James lob, and up top, Thero detonates over the top of Finney Smith. 21 years old, 36th overall pick in this past draft. Didn't play a ton throughout the season, but got it out. Played with the South Bay Lakers throughout the season. Have that connectivity coming over. And J.J. Redick had so many great things to say about the entire South Bay Lakers G League staff. As Smith misses on the pull-up and the rebound cleared by Connect. Second-year man out of Tennessee. And he drills the 3. Ime Udoka doesn't love what he sees in the last 2 possessions. And this young Oklahoma City, the Lakers looking to see if they can pull off a miracle to finish this sweep here in Houston, as Thero is going to be called for the foul on Smith.
See Ime Udoka on his bench. Kevin Durant, Fred VanVleet earns a trip to the charity stripe.
And it does convert on the first. Houston May 1st, and game 7 would be Sunday, May 3rd, a week from today. Junior up to 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Houston as a team, 16 steals. Thero thought about another one, and this one just played well in building blocks for the rest of your career. And J.J. said he remembers early in his career, he just wasn't playing a lot in Orlando, and in his 3rd year, Courtney Lee ends up breaking his face. Dwight Howard ends up getting suspended. There was a closeout game that he had to start, and it was his first real foray as the follow goes down from Smith into major starting the rest of the way, going up against Ray Allen in the Eastern Conference Finals, feeling like that was the springboard then moving forward for him as James step away 3 doesn't go. And Okogie swipes it down. And he said, then had the breakout year the next ball. I just did this in the postseason at the highest level. Nothing fazed him from that point on.
Well, everyone's path is different. But you have to stay ready and take advantage of those opportunities. And J.J. Redick turned himself into a pretty dynamic player in this league.
Smith, no. Thompson on the second chance.
And I was there, though. And he struggled, you know. I wasn't sure if he was gonna, survive as a player. But to his credit, worked and worked, stayed ready, and made the most of it.
Thompson, mid-range.
I've been impressed with that from him tonight. That little 15 feet. He's been efficient with the mid-range game.
Smith dribbling it off his foot, scooped up by Thompson, up ahead for Eason, and Eason showing off.
If there's been a storyline for the Lakers leading to 30 points for the Lakers, that's really been it.
J.J. Redick still calling out his sets for this young group, and Smith laces that triple. 108-86. So for Bronny James and a rebound. All 3 of his attempts coming from 3-point range. Houston keeping their majority of their rotation in there as Smith can't hit, leaks out. Eason 3 is pure.
That was a nice tip there by Jabari Smith Jr. Couldn't help but tipped it to the corner.
And look out here, Kleber and Jabari Smith Jr. getting into it on their way back down the other side of the court.